Hi everyone, myself Mamatha. Account on fungal nutrition is my topic. First, we will see the introduction. Fungi are heterotrophic eukaryotic organisms that lack chlorophyll and they depend on other organisms for their nutrition. Fungi secretes digestive enzymes that break down the food into simple molecules that can be absorbed through the cell wall. The absorbed molecules are used to produce energy and to build new cells. The supply of nutrients is essential for every living organism because the nutrients serve as a structural units and also energy source for the building up of protoplasm, which is the basis of life. Then we will see the nutritional requirements. The fungi utilize both organic compounds and inorganic materials as the source of their nutrient supply. No fungus is able to make any increase in its dry weight in the absence of organic food materials because lacking chlorophyll, the fungi are unable to photosynthesis or use carbon dioxide to build up organic food materials. They are thus heterotrophic for carbon food compounds, which they are in natural habitats obtained by living as saprophytes or parasites from dead or living plants, animals or microorganisms of their waste. Then essential elements. The nutrients elements of the organic and inorganic substances which fungi make use like carbon, oxygen, hydrogen, phosphorus, potassium, magnesium, zinc, iron, etc. Calcium is required by some fungi, but not all. These elements which fungi require as food are termed the essential elements. Some of these the fungi need in extremely small trace amounts and the other in comparatively large amounts. Sources of macroelements. The organic substances usually utilized by fungi are very varied. For example, yeast can be acetates as sources of carbon, but for most fungi, the chief source of carbon are the carbohydrates. The carbohydrates are needed for building up the body and also sources of energy. In a typical fungus, 50% of the dry weight is carbon of the carbohydrate source of carbon. Most fungi are simple sugars. For example, glucose is suitable for almost all fungi. Some fungi are able to make good growth on fats as only source of carbon. Basidiomycetes include most of the lignin-utilizing fungi, proteins, lipids, some organic acids, and higher alcohol are utilized by some fungi as a sole energy source. Besides carbon, fungi require nitrogen. To obtain nitrogen, they utilize both organic and inorganic materials as the source. The chief organic sources of nitrogen are protein, peptide, and amine. Then hydrogen and oxygen are supplied in the form of water, which is the major constituent of fungus mycelium, forming about 85 to 90% of the entire weight. The chief among the inorganic nutrients which the fungi require in fairly large amounts for their mineral nutrition are sulfur, phosphorus, potassium, and magnesium. Then we will see the mode of nutrition. There are 4 modes. First one is saprophytes. The fungi which obtain their food from dead organic materials are called saprophytes. They grow upon the dead organic matters such as rotten fruits, rotten vegetables, moist wood, moist leather, jams, pickles, cheese, rotting leaves, plant debris, manures, horse dung, etc., and some other possible dead organic materials. Mucor, Rhizopus, Penicillium, Morcella, Aspergillus, Agaricus, and many other are the example of saprophytic fungi. Next, parasites. This type of nutrition is obtained by the association of this type of nutrition is obtained by the absorption of food from living organisms. The parasitic fungi absorb their food materials from the living tissue of the host on which they parasitize. Such parasitic fungi are quite harmful on their hosts and can cause many serious diseases. These fungi cause the great loss to the human beings indirectly. Many diseases of the important crops are caused by parasitic fungi. The rust, must, bunts, mildews, and many other plant diseases are important examples of fungal diseases of crops. Their mode of life is parasitic, and the relation of host and parasite is called the parasitism. Then, symbionts. Some fungi live in close association of other higher plants, where they are mutually beneficial to each other. Such relationship is called symbiosis, and the participants are called symbionts. The common example of symbiosis is an association of fungus with lichen. The duty of algae in this partnership is to synthesize food with the help of green chloroplast and share it with its fungal partner. The fungal absorbs minerals in solution and water from substratum and passes to the alga. Next, mycorrhiza. It is defined as the symbiotic association between the hyphae of certain fungi and roots of plants. Is it of three types: ectomycorrhizal, endomycorrhizal, and ectoendomycorrhizal. First, we will see the ectomycorrhizal. The fungal hyphae in this case form a complete envelope around the root tip and also penetrate and extend into the first few cortical layers to form an intercellular network of hyphae known as net. The presence of the fungus thus increases root absorption. Next, endomycorrhizal. The fungal hyphae in this case penetrate root hairs, epidermis, and reach the cortex, where they grow intracellularly, forming fungal knots in the cortical cells. Next, ectoendomycorrhizal. It is the combination of the first two. The fungal hyphae from a sheath at the surface of the root. Within the root, they grow intercellular and intracellular. Predacious fungi. It is one mode of the nutrition. There are many animal trapping fungi which have developed ingenious mechanism for capturing small animals such as eelworms, rotifers, or protozoa. This mechanism is adopted by the fungi, which utilizes rapidly constructing around the nematode, which holds it captive, while the hyphae sink ostoria into the body of the victim. Several species of fungi in the genera Arthrobotrys, Dactylaria employ this method. It is assumed that the amount of osmotically active material in the ring cells increases greatly as the result of stimulation and causes water to enter the cells, increasing their trigger pressure. The ring cells swell rapidly and the ring closes around the eelworm, which is thus held tightly in the trap. Some predaceous fungi secretes sticky substances on the surface of their hyphae to which a passing small animal adheres. Ostomium-like hyphae then grow. Ostomium-like hyphae then grow into the body of the animal and absorb food, and animals ultimately die. Next, we'll see the mechanism of nutrition. The whole mechanism, the whole mycelium may have the power to absorb these nutrients, or this risk may be assigned to special portion of the mycelium. The fungal hyphae secrete enzymes which converts insoluble complex food materials in the substratum to the soluble ones. The hyphae either ramify in the intercellular space between the host cells or penetrate into the host cells. The intercellular hyphae obtain nutrition through the cell walls or cell membrane of the host cells. The intercellular hyphae of some highly specialized plant parasites give out slender lateral outgrowth. It punctures the host cell wall, making a minute pore through which enters the host cell. This type of feeding organ of the parasitic fungi is called ostomium. The ostomium is intracellular and thus robs the host of its food without killing it. Ostomium is characteristics of obligate parasites. Next, conclusion. All fungi are chemoheterotropic. They synthesize all the organic compounds they need for growth and energy from pre-existing organic sources in their environment, using the energy from chemical reactions. Since their protoplasm is protected by a rigid wall, fungi must obtain their absorption by the process of absorption. Small molecules in solution can be absorbed directly across the fungal wall and plasma membrane. Then reference. Thank you.